Yeah, so my company's name is Myco-Meditation, and I've been an owner of it for 8 years now. And it's eventually where my journey led me. So I came from my own retreat, 7 days, and it was highly, highly transformative, kind of a culmination of the years before that. And right around that time, I was just getting out of university, not sure what I wanted to do with my life, but the door was there to get involved with Myco. And so I came on board, and it's just been the thing that's basically what brings me purpose in my life is this work. And so what Myco-Meditations has developed into is we've what we strive to do essentially is to create the gold standard for what a psychedelic therapy retreat can be. And kind of based in your questioning as well as like how many people understand this work is done is like you do psychedelics with just some kind of safety guidance of like a trip sitter and maybe like a little integration circle afterwards. It's like that's kind of one facet of it, but it's not really the most robust therapeutic protocol. If you want to really work with trauma and people who kind of have some of the backgrounds that we deal with. So we're a company that we host 8-day retreats where people typically come on a retreat starting Friday, and then Saturday is going to be dose number 1, Monday is going to be dose number 2, and Wednesday is going to be dose number 3. And those weeks, the days in between are all days dedicated to integration. So it's a week immersion basically into 3 high dose sessions with psilocybin, done in a done in true psilocybin therapy form, because most retreat aspects are going to be like a group of people in a circle with a handful of facilitators kind of checking in with people. We have retreats that don't really get any bigger than 10 people, and we'll have a team of 6 to 7 therapists and facilitators guiding that experience. And 80 to 90% of our facilitation team at this point also happen to be licensed therapists. So we bring like a very therapeutic approach to this where the sessions are done privately, basically, because we have such a ratio of staff to guests is very high. It's almost 1-to-1 that allows us to have our guests kind of spread across our retreat properties, which are all located here in Jamaica. They're all a few acres, but like beautiful vacation villas, if you imagine that, but all selected carefully for optimal kind of characteristics for doing a retreat in. And basically what a session looks like is the whole group spreads after we give out the dose and go to a different part of the property. So some might be in their rooms, some might be under a big almond tree in the shade, some might be under a tent we've set up overlooking the ocean. And then each of those people are going to have a therapist or a facilitator alongside them for the whole experience. And so we're working as a team then to see kind of what's bubbling up with people. You know, we kind of shift ourselves. If someone needs a lot of attention and one therapist is working with them for 2 hours because it's a heavy experience, like we all kind of shuffle around it, because most of the time, most people are internally within their experience behind eye shades, listening to music. Like we curate custom playlists and suggestions for people, and it's all under this protocol of go inside, stick with the experience, and we're there to guide that process. Like we don't, it's our job as facilitators to sort of keep them in the experience with the mushrooms, because that's really what's going to give them the most healing. And so within this whole immersive setting, we're also preparing them for every dose and kind of getting them more and more optimized to make better use of the next session that's going to come, which is why we do it 3 times. Like a lot of other retreats might offer 1 dose or 2 doses, but it's tricky because you then go all the way somewhere to maybe have 1 experience. And in that scenario, it's like, okay, well, we got to get this right. We have to either maybe play this a little conservative, but then we risk underdosing you and you don't get a super deep experience, or you play it risky and you try to give them a high dose, but maybe that's just overwhelming and too much to handle. And so we have the flexibility doing it under our protocol where you show up, and the first dose is really the only one that's more or less standardized. Like we kind of give everyone 3 to 4 grams of dried psilocybin mushrooms that we grow ourselves on that first dose. And we kind of tell people like this dose is maybe going to be slightly underwhelming, but that's kind of the point. Is what this is going to allow us to do is just see how familiar you are with this experience, how resistant are you to the experience, how much are you already sort of taking to turning yourself over and surrendering and just being with what comes up. And we kind of use that as a team to really understand what this person is, how they're relating with the experience, and then from there tailoring the dose to get it more on the point for each person and then more customized in that way.